What's up, dudes? We're back again doing a no BS knife review. Today we're going to go over the Benchmade Steep Country Hunter. Recently I've been looking for, S30V blade, something small, lightweight, kind of a EDC fixed blade as it was, but I don't know. I was looking around kind of in the market looking for something with some premium steel, something that's, moderate to small size that I can carry with me every day. I'm kind of leaning away from folders. But yeah, I mean, I've been looking at, Benchmade stuff, and I've been trying to find one, and this one caught my eye because it was, for one, it was $93. I've seen them as much as like 97 and maybe around the $100 mark, but it was an under $100 knife for S30V blade, which I was pretty happy with, all in all. So I went and I picked one up. There's a couple of things on this knife we can, talk about here before I get into it. These handle scales are Santoprene. So I'm not really 100% sure on what that is, but to me it just feels like texturized rubber. It does have a cool kind of design to it. It's got that, it looks like, I don't know, alligator or snake skin, something like that. But it is rubber. That's what it feels like. That's what it looks like. That's basically what it is. I like how it has these, I don't know what you would call that, but these kind of rigid spots on the spine there. It really holds well in your hand. I mean, it doesn't really want to go anywhere. So I'm not worried about it being rubber or getting wet and slippery or anything like that. But I mean, it's pretty nice. And underneath it has this like groove design. I mean, this knife to me is a Skinner. I'm pretty sure that's what the design was. You can tell here because they have two separate spots for jimping. And they have these two finger grooves on both sides there, so you can put your thumb and your middle finger on there and your index finger up here and really get in there when you're skinning out an animal. So for those purposes, I think it's pretty cool. But the way I would be using it is I'd be carrying it around doing, opening boxes, whatever else, everyday tasks kind of thing. Now, I do have a few disappointments with this knife because, I mean, it is Benchmade, so I'm expecting it to be like a high quality knife. Off of the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, this knife is probably going to be a no-go for me. I'm going to tell you, I think there's a couple of things, like for example, right here, this rubber gripping, look to the left of the knife. You see how it wants to peel away from the blade like that? It doesn't drive me crazy. I mean, it makes me feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel like this could fail. It makes me feel like the rubber at some point or another will wear down relatively quickly. And then what are you going to do for a handle? I mean, there's always, customizing it and making it the way you want it to be, putting G10 or some wood handles on there or something. But I feel like when you spend $100 on a knife, you should get one that's going to be quality, it's going to last a long time. And that makes me nervous. I'm not real crazy about that. Now, given I think they did the rubber grips just so when you're skinning game, if you get blood and guts on the knife, it's, pretty easy to clean up. It's basically a rinse off sort of ordeal. But I mean, for my purposes, and I understand that it wasn't necessarily designed to be an EDC knife, not crazy about these. I'm really not crazy about these handles. And not that it doesn't fit well. I mean, it feels pretty good. It's got plenty of room on the back end for my fingers. No complaints there. But overall, it feels like it's going to wear pretty quickly. So there's that. That was the first strike for me. Strike number two is this knife has been, never used. I just got it. I haven't really done anything with it. I haven't carried anything. Let's see. I've been trying. Nothing. The only thing this thing takes off is skin cells. So you would expect that, being made by Benchmade, which is a reputable company, that this thing is gonna, be face shaving sharp, like just real sharp right out of the box, and that's a no-go. It wasn't like that, and that blew my mind because when you get something from, like the big 5 companies that are out there, you expect it to be like incredibly sharp, especially being as it's a $100 knife made with premium steel by an awesome company. How is it going to be this dull? Now, I mean, to be fair, it is sharp in the sense that you can cut paper with it. It definitely slices through some paper, but it still leaves perforations around it and, spots where it didn't go all the way through or didn't go through cleanly. So that's one thing that makes me a little unhappy about the knife. That's strike two for me, is that it wasn't crazy sharp out of the box. And I understand, yes, you can sharpen it up and get it there, but I feel like when you spend $100 on a knife and you get it from a company like Benchmade, that they should have done their job and made this insanely sharp. That's just how I feel about it. Maybe other people feel differently. That's just my personal opinion on it. Strike number 3. Bam. This sheath. Now it is Kydex and it does have leather incorporated in it. Decent sheath. The Kydex is better than most. I'll say that. You know, it's better than most Kydex for, you know, lesser companies or a cheaper blade. But with this thing, and that comes back to the first strike, is this texturized rubber grip, is that there's no way for it to lock in place, to be perfectly honest. So if you look there, it doesn't lock like a typical Kydex sheath. It just kind of rests in that little spot right there, and that's it. And the only thing holding it on is this retention strap. Let's put that on there, which is also somewhat difficult to get on there. That's it right there. The only thing holding it in place. So there's no way you could carry this Scout style or take this off. If you wanted to take this off and put it in your pocket as an EDC thing, which I would, it's not possible because this leather belt loop would have to come off, and the only thing holding the retention strap in place is the leather belt loop. So there's no way to do that, and then there's no way to carry it in the Kydex sheath because it doesn't lock in place. So yeah, there's that. And then this is real flimsy. I mean, it pulls away. It's kind of gimmicky, and I'm not real crazy about that. That right there, that's an issue for me. The fact that this is the only thing on there and this is very loosely attached to this sheath is that, like, just think about what you'll be using this for. If you use this for what the knife is intended for, a skinning knife, and you take this out in the woods, it's going to be on your hip. You're going to be walking through brush. You're going to be doing whatever. What happens when you run into a briar patch and it cuts that just even a little bit? That's where it's going to start to dry rot, and it's going to start to break and tear because, you know, like I said, it's loose. Then there's nothing holding it on. This is going to tear, and then whoop, fell out of the knife, or fell out of the sheath. I don't know. I don't know what they were really thinking when they made this. You know, like I said, even if you were going to carry it as a skinning knife, that's one thing. And back to strike 3. Right in here, you see right here on the lip, you can see it. That part right there. That's fine, soft. There's some sharp edges there, and that's what kind of made me mad. See that spot right there? It's really hard to tell on camera, but right there, it's been chewing up the rubber already. So this Kydex sheath that is already junk, it wasn't even, you know, sanded or, you know, whatever. The fit and finish on it is lackluster. Look at that right there. That's sharp, and it's already chewing up on my $100 knife that I just bought and haven't even used. Ugh, it just blows my mind. I like the company. I like Benchmade a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm just, you know, this. That's a big fat no-go for me. Others may, you know, approve of it. Others may have good things to say about it. Check out other reviews. Not sure what everybody else is saying. This is just my first impression of it. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. I don't think I'm going to hold on to this one. So I will be continuing my hunt for my S30V fixed blade. But as it is right now, Benchmade, this is a no-go, fellas. Alright guys, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see. More videos in the in the future.